Okay, now we need to create an assembly that has our bridge side. Right now, this Part Studio here, it is our bridge side Part Studio. We can rename it to that. But it's not really an assembly we can bring directly in. We don't have a single part here to bring into an assembly. We'd rather not bring all the parts in as separate pieces. We're going to need 2 of these, so let's make an assembly. Easiest way to do that is click on Create Assembly. We're going to rename this assembly to the bridge side. Bridge side. And we're going to bring in our parts. So inserting those are really easy because of the composite parts. Notice we've got parts selected, sketches, we don't need either one of those. We just need composite parts. So uncheck parts, make sure composite parts is the only thing selected, and just click on the first item, the whole bridge side. It was 3 composite parts, and we're going to turn it to 1 assembly. And we'll just click here, check the green box. We can go over here and click the front. It looks the same, but it's really not assembled yet. Notice it can fall apart pretty easily. So Control Z is your friend here. Easiest way to put this all together, we don't need to use mate connectors. We can actually use a pretty fast tool. Anytime parts are aligned properly in a Part Studio and you just want to make them into one part, we just use the group tool. Like any other drawing tool, group will lock positions relative to each other. So we had them selected. If you didn't, just select all 3. Click there. And that's our bridge side. That's it. We just put them all together. Alright, we're ready to assemble this whole bridge. We've got our side drawn, a side assembly created. We do need one more piece before we can put the bridge together, and that is what's called the strut. The strut puts the sides together, so it's going to go through these holes. We drew all our other straws using the frame tool, but we just need one straw to go through that. So let's go over to the straw. We can just create it right on here. So let's do it. Create a extrude. We have to decide how wide we want our bridge, but we have a variable for that. Bridge width, I think the maximum is 8 centimeters or 80 millimeters, so we'll use that here. And we just need to pick our straw profile, just like we did for the straws for the between the nodes on the side, and that's it. And we've got our strut. And we'll actually rename that strut so it's easy to find. Strut. T-strut. Okay. Now we want to create our assembly for the full bridge. So create assembly. We'll call this one full bridge. Rename it. Get in the habit of renaming right away. Then you can find things easier. All right. So let's insert. We'll need 2 sides. Whoops. Let's see, we want assemblies over here, and here's a side. Okay, one of those, bring one more in, and we need Part Studio, we need a straw, so we need a strut. And that's all we need. We will replicate that straw, and that will be done with another tool. Okay, so let's mate things together. Back to fasten mates. So we want to bring this straw into the bridge side. Can just click right there. This is your axis on the mate, and I believe it does not matter in this case, but we're going to show you a trick here. If you are having trouble getting the center, you can hover here, hold down the Shift key, and notice it will force you to pick it. So Shift, this showing us that little arrow up, so if I'm holding down Shift. So I recommend using the Shift key when you're selecting anything floating like that. It works really well. So that needs to connect into the straw, the node here. So let's go down here. Again, hold down the Shift key. Notice the Shift key being held down allows you to move wherever you want, but we want to be in the middle. Okay, and notice what it did. What's nice about holding the shift key down is it aligns your Z axis on both of them, so it was pointing to the right, and make sure it ensures that straw is pointing, it's connecting on the right side. So we looks pretty good, so we'll click here to get another fasten mate, and let's put the other side of the bridge on there. Again, we're going to go over to this side, and we're going to hover over it, and we'll use the shift key. There we go, and we're going to go to this side here, hold the shift down, and we've got the same thing. If we hit solve, it brings them together. And there we go. This is our last fasten mate. So remember this check mark, commit and start a new mate. We're done with fastens for now, so we're going to close it up here. We're getting it together. Now, we've got a lot of struts to draw. There's a tool that helps us do that. It's called Replicate. If you search for Replicate, there it is. You can see it hiding. It shows you where it's hiding. It's hiding under this menu. We can pick it here or pick it there. Replicate. So, oops, did not pick Replicate. There we go. So replicates an instance. An instance is one part. So we want to pick. It can actually replicate other things too, like mate connectors. I'm gonna pick that one. Mate to be matched. It's finding one of our mates. It only has to match one of them. It'll put the bridge together. Find faces to match in. So there's a couple options here. Plane, face, and edges. Plane would be the ideal. If it works, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It'll get them all. So let's try this. Fasten 1 is the mate. Let's just see where fasten 1. It was the first mate we did, so it was this one. So we want to pick the plane over here. So let's try it. Planes to match. Here we go. And Viola. If we made sure we picked the same plane as that mate, it will do it. And just to show you, that is where fasten 1 was. You can see it get highlighted. Oops. Right here. So we picked the plane that was on that side, and it put all our struts on. That is your full straw bridge without cross bracing. We'll get into cross bracing in another video.